Estate living is often built with a vernacular that dictates uniformity. It creates a sense of aesthetic belonging, but step inside and you are met with individuality that suits the owner's unique personality. South African homes have really come into their own over the last few decades. Generic imitations have made way for modern masterpieces and character-filled spaces. Finest Homes explores some of these creations, talking to the visionaries that's bringing them to life. Join us as we explore some of these spaces, showcasing the interior design, architecture, and landscape design. In today's episode of Finest Homes, we're visiting an established estate in the Stellenbosch Winelands that boasts classical Cape vernacular architecture. But step inside and you are greeted with a contemporary take that speaks to the owner's needs to break away from the expected farmhouse aesthetic. The architect responsible for this recent update is Frederick Lotter of Lotterhaus Design Studio. Hello!
Hi Leanne, how are you?
Are we playing a round of golf?
Yes, I hope you brought your clubs with.
They're in the car, don't worry.
Okay, perfect, so we can do it just now.
Such a gorgeous property, this, I love it.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's part of the reason why the owners purchased in the area, because there's a great golf course here and they are absolutely golf fanatics, so we had to give them something to do in the spare time.
I love it, I love it. Now, I believe that this was an existing home. So what exactly was here before the renovation?
Well, before the renovation, the existing house was pretty much the size it was now.
Okay.
So it was built to its maximum allowed on the property already, so there wasn't a lot to expand on it, but it was very traditional and basic and low quality finishes, and the client had a completely different picture in mind. So we did quite a major transformation on the property.
Very, very nice. Well, I'd love to go and get a peek at what's inside. Shall we do that?
Of course, you're welcome.
Awesome.
Off to you.
Oh, whoa, what is this?
Well, we will probably find quite a few interesting cooking appliances in the house.
Really?
The client is actually a chef by profession.
Oh, wow.
He ended up being a businessman, but he loves cooking, so he's got all these interesting things. Apparently this is a braai, but it's more a combination between a braai and an oven, and it can apparently cook a thick piece of steak within like 2 or 3 minutes.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
I love it.
So it's amazing, but he says you need to keep your eye on it because it cooks very quick.
I'm sure one has to. Oh, I have to become friends. Need to come over for dinner here, especially if there's a chef in the house.
Yeah, definitely.
Frederick, I would love to know, what was the brief for this home and how did you interpret it?
Look, the clients basically bought this property because they love the area and they love the estate that they purchased the house in. So there aren't any vacant properties available, so you need to buy what you find. So they didn't buy the house because they especially liked the house, but they liked the area. It was a very traditional house, a bit impractical, a bit dark on the inside, so they just wanted to modernize it. Within this estate there are guidelines, so it is quite a traditional guideline, but we wanted to push the box as far as possible to see if we can modernize it, open it up, get more natural light in, and just be able to optimize on the views.
I can't even imagine it. You say this house was quite dark, but yet all I see is like lightness and airiness coming through. Talk me through some of the big changes.
Well, if we can start with the area we're standing in for a start, this concrete roof above us is now a balcony for the first floor, which it used to just be a lean-to roof. A lean-to roof needs to have a specific pitch, so it's quite low. So this was only an external stoop with a few doors opening out to it.
Wow.
The door openings were lower and narrower, so you couldn't even optimize the bit of view that you have to this side. There was a swimming pool pretty much in the same position. It was a bit smaller and the level was quite lower, so you had to drop with steep steps going down. So it was a very impractical space to really use.
Yeah.
So we tried to make this an inside-outside space. So you've got frameless doors this side and this side. So you can either include this in the internal side or include it in the external side, or make everything open outwards or inwards. So that was one of the big elements. Even the existing windows on this facade, we also made them a bit wider and larger to create more natural light.
I love it.
And this becomes a usable space instead
Exactly.
of a stoop that you rarely.
Yeah, it could be a really big space depending on if all of the doors are open, but it could also become a lot smaller depending on which part of the house you really
Exactly,
want
and
to use.
also the season. If it's cold, then you'd like to sort of close down certain areas too. We've got a nice fireplace that we included in the lounge area, so if you can close that door and you can close this one, then you can heat up the space quite quicker.
Wow.
Where naturally, if it's all open, you tend to struggle to.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. But perfect for summertime too.
Exactly, yeah.
I love it. I'd love to see more of the features in the home.
Definitely, we can show you a bit more on the inside.
Yay! Oh, this is beautiful. Oh, what a glorious staircase. And this lighting fixture. Oh, Frederick, you have to tell me more. Stay with us as after the break, we explore more of this contemporary home. In today's episode of Finest Homes, we're visiting a home that plays to all the strengths of a Cape vernacular farmhouse aesthetic. But step inside and you're met with a contemporary update that speaks to the owner's need for a cleaner, more streamlined design. Architect Frederick Lotter was responsible for the update and shares his approach to the execution of this project. Frederick, I love all of these little magical spots in this home, but you have to talk me through this gorgeous staircase.
The staircase was definitely one of the predominant features we tried to incorporate in the house. There used to be, the original staircase was a steel timber, very awkward, flimsy like staircase. So
Yeah.
the first thing we wanted to get rid of was that. And then also we really wanted to open up the space, so we have a bigger opening there where we used to have two small doors. And it was partially due to the position of the staircase. So we tried to design the staircase in such a way that it allowed us a wider opening, and then also to make it a big feature, because that's actually the main entrance on this side. So as you come in, that becomes the focal point. And then also get the light in, because it used to be a very dark space upstairs, and now you get the light in from this double volume area, and you've got this feature going up, and it just sort of emphasizes the character of the space.
Something that also emphasizes the character of this space is that gorgeous lighting fixture up there, which is just, it is exquisite.
It is beautiful. I mean, they are so simple and small, but they really, they pack the punch. There's quite a few of them in here. It was a bit of a challenge. We had to wait quite a while to get them, as they were actually imported from Italy. But yeah, as many things in this project, it was a bit of a waiting game. Even the tiles that you see behind us on that feature wall, that was also quite a process to get them. We saw a photo of it, and Tanya, my partner in the Lotterhaus, she went sourcing all about finding them, and that she managed it, and it looks beautiful.
It is incredible. That feature wall in itself it's like artwork. I love it. I have to talk about this kitchen though. We all know that the kitchen is the heart of the home,
Yes.
but this kitchen is literally the heart of the home. And I think it also speaks to the fact that the owner is a chef. So this really is like his theater, if you would.
Yes, I think it is. He loves playing here. I think they both love the kitchen. It was for him and his wife, it was an important point, the kitchen. So it was something we went back and forth about quite a bit. The original kitchen that was in here was your typical U-shaped granite top kitchen, and it didn't really open up to the outside. Because the house is so deep, you can't really optimize on the views. You need to walk outward as far as possible. So we tried to create an island from where, as you work around the island, you can actually get a glimpse of the outside areas as well, and the natural light, and fit in as much appliances as possible, because they are very specific about the types of appliances they like working with, which essentially created the space. So we had to make the actual entrance foyer narrower to expand the kitchen slightly, as well as the wall on this side. We also had to cut it back a bit to make it wider, to create a few more recesses for appliances to be fitted in.
Talking about all of these wonderful features in the home, do you want to take us through the flow of this gorgeous space?
Yes, if we focus on the ground floor where we're sitting in now, we spoke about the kitchen. The lounge behind you was it was a very long, impractical, almost dark space as well. So we opened up both the openings quite wider, And then to make it more practical, because it was such an awkward, lengthy space, we divided it into a more entertainment lounge and a more reading, relaxation lounge, which is shared by this beautiful three-sided fireplace and double-sided bookshelf that serves as a backdrop for the TV and automation, and to make it a bit more private, and yet it's still open. So that worked very well. The staircase we spoke about earlier really opens the route going up. And because we needed the natural light from the first floor coming in as well, we actually made a major difference to the roof in this linking element. I refer to it as the link element, basically the portion, because you've got a wing on that side and a wing on this side. So this is basically just an open plan study on the upstairs area. So we changed all that by putting in dormers and balconies and doors opening to the outside. So we really opened up, replaced the whole roof in there with exposed trusses and replaced the roofing by slate as well. And that really opened up and aired up the space in there. And then the wing basically splits in two. So you've got a main bedroom on that wing, and you've got two other extra bedrooms on the opposite side. And then, on the ground floor, we've got a bedroom as well. This one is similar to the main bedroom at the top. So we've actually got two main bedrooms. This one can be the guest suite, but for long term, that can be used as a main bedroom as well. And what makes the ground floor one very nice is it's actually got a steam shower as well.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so it's got a nice steam sauna shower in, and we've got a jacuzzi on the outside. You've got everything you need to stay in this house forever. You don't need to go anywhere.
Basic features that every home needs, right?
Exactly.
I wanted to ask you, because you really cannot escape the gorgeous features on the outside of the home, the exterior. Were there any changes made to the garden, the pool area, the patio?
Definitely. We basically replaced the pool, raised the level of the pool, added the jacuzzi and this whole stoop area, which was more internalized to try to get a natural flow between the house and the outside area, because we firmly believe in the inside-out sort of breaking that line. You don't want a definite inside or outside. You want to sort of feel outside or inside, either way. Next to the pool, we also created a nice pergola area with lighting where you can sit and relax and just enjoy the pool environment. And a bit of a privacy screen, a feature stone wall in the front, separating that nice little putting green from the jacuzzi area to make it slightly more private from the road. One of the big challenges as well, which also pushes the guidelines a bit, are the external lighting. Where traditionally some estates prefer less external lighting, and we've got some interesting ones. So it can look very subtle, but it can also change color and it can become brighter, and that's actually a theme throughout the house, because we introduced the client to Carl Willis, who does home automation, and he actually came up with quite a few suggestions. So they assisted us with sound, home automation, lighting, as well as energy generation in the property, and it really makes a difference in the end of the day.
Well, I have a ton of questions for him, so. Under the beautiful, clean, lined aesthetics of this home lies a plethora of electronics to make day-to-day living just so much easier for the homeowners. I sat down with Carl Willis of Soft Illusion to talk home automation. Carl, for those who have never heard of the term home automation, what exactly is it?
Home automation is a system that takes all the mundane tasks together into one system and just does everything for you. The only limits with home automation really are, creativity and budget. We can automate everything. We do automate everything, from your lighting to your water, to your solar system, to your backup power system, your blinds, geysers, you name it. Anything that the homeowner wants, the homeowner gets.
And when it comes to this particular project, what home automation did you incorporate into this project?
We were lucky enough with these clients to almost have free reign. They initially told us that they've never really had an advanced technological home, so they're building their dream home, so what's available. So we gave them everything from the start, solar and backup system to start with, to power the house. So a smart home is nothing if you don't have any power. And from there we went on to lighting automation, all the accent lighting, light fixtures, underfloor heating, audio-visual distribution, fan automation, you name it. Even geyser control and outside lights, even outdoor audio. So we really got we had a blank canvas.
So what are some of the trending features when it comes to home automation? Why would I want this in my home?
Why would you not want it? Home automation just makes life a lot simpler. Practical examples are lighting control. House like this has got a huge amount of lights. So imagine switching all of these lights on, or having a few guests over for dinner and you just want to get the right vibe. You know how to get that vibe on your own if you've got 30 minutes to play with the lights, but why not have it on a pre-programmed feature, like a dinner scene, or like an entertainment scene, or like a chill mode, you know. Another nice feature is we program the automation system to operate seasonally. So let's say the sun comes up at 7 o'clock in the morning, the shades lift open at 7 o'clock. Let's say you would like your geyser to run slightly longer or hotter in the winter months. We program that for you. And again, it's seasonal patterns, so you don't have to do a thing. It automatically adjusts with the seasons. Your solar system, a solar system is great at generating power and feeding the house with power, but the automation system is the brain behind the generation of the system. So it directs the power and, you know, prioritize my geysers, prioritize my underfloor heating, maybe prioritize the charging of my battery, or there's load shedding that's imminent, you know, leave enough charge levels in my battery to power the house during load shedding. The options are infinite.
After the break, we sit down with Anna Correa to talk bedroom design and how you can create the ultimate sanctuary through the right textures and colors. In today's episode of Finest Homes, we visited an estate in the heart of the Winelands, where a house with a strong Cape vernacular architectural style enjoyed a recent renovation to align with the owner's needs for a more contemporary aesthetic. Architect Frederick Lotter of Lotterhaus Design Studio took us through the brief and some of the major updates that led the home to where it is today. We also sat down with Carl Willis of Soft Illusion, who explained some of the home automation features present in the house. When it comes to bedrooms, the ultimate goal is to create a sanctuary to start and end off your day. Interior designer Anna Correa now shows her take on creating the ultimate bedroom through a scheme she's put together for us.
So a perfect space in a home to take to the next level, I think, is a bedroom, because it's a very personalized space and it's a room that you probably want to spend a lot of time in, and a space that needs to be lush and comfortable. Some of the things to take into consideration when designing a bedroom would definitely be your interior finishes, because it also helps cocoon a space. So you want it to be a very comfortable room. It must be luxurious, a place where you're going to relax and retreat. So working with wallpapers, your window treatments, your curtaining, your bed linen is a must. And you know, just adding in touches of color just to give it a bit of personality, but definitely going with the softer tones to create a nice, beautiful, moody space. An example of some bedroom designs that I'm currently working with at the moment, when I look at the mood board here, the design it's very clean, it's very contemporary, but also adding a touch of classic detail. So whether you bring that into your wall finishes, your bedside pedestals, and then also working a lot with lighting, using it in a clever manner in terms of like LED lights, just to have like a softer feel for the space, reading lights, hanging pendants, and just doing away with freestanding bedside lamps so that you have a clutter-free space next to your bed. More design elements that are on trend at the moment when it comes to bedrooms is the use of, well, it's always been you have a feature wall in a room, but now it's introducing design elements such as wood or you know, paneling that just elevate the space to a more contemporary level, and you know, creating more detail to the room and giving it more depth, and just working with more mirrors. So in terms of like implementing these design finishes, if I was to work with the slatted wood, it would definitely be one of the main features for the bedroom. But then if you wanted to create more space and depth to a room, this is where you would incorporate your mirror. And, you know, I would definitely go big. So have like, you know, 2 full-sized ones on either side of the bed, going from the top of the bedside pedestal right through to the ceiling. It's all about elevating the room, taking it from the top of the bed right through to the ceiling. So when designing a bedroom, just in terms of like flooring, I love to work with an engineered wooden floor. I think it's really got a beautiful, soft, homely feel to the space. And then one could always layer the room with a beautiful, lush bamboo silk rug. It's also great for the acoustics of the space. It grounds the space as well. And in terms of the wall finishes, for coloring, I always like to work with a neutral base, and then again, layer the walls and cocoon the space with some beautiful wallpaper. I love working with wallpaper, especially the textured ones. I generally go for the softer tones and nothing too dramatic. If I did want to go for a moody space, and I would probably go with, you know, the dark tones and the naturals of the greys and the blacks. With regards to application of the wallpaper, I would either wallpaper the entire room to cocoon the space, or I would choose 2 walls in the room that would kind of anchor and corner the room to give it still that warmth and cocooning feel. Another important thing for a bedroom are the window treatments. There's many things that you can use to treat a window. You can do American shutters if you want something which is cool and contemporary. A lot of people like to have curtaining, or I like using curtaining because it definitely adds a softer feel to a space. I like fresh and airy and simplistic. So generally, on most of the schemes that I do, I would go with a sheer curtain, which I would probably line in a lining. Alternatively, you can always have a sheer curtain with a main curtain fabric. And this also just adds, if you want a little bit more of glam for the space, like going with the main curtain with a bit of sheen to the space, can be very glamorous. And here, this is where you can add some color in, because on the sheer fabric, I would probably go neutral. And if I wanted to add like a pop, you could go with a color on the main curtain. In terms of furniture for the bedroom, obviously the main mega piece is going to be your bed. And you're going to start with your bed, and generally the big trend at the moment is to have bed sets. So you've got a beautiful headboard that's got a nice detail to it, with a bed base where the mattress is actually sunk in. You can fold your linen into it. And then I would work with beautiful, I generally like to work with velvet for the main piece. I think it's very lush and it can still be very contemporary. Or if you don't want to go with the velvet, you can go with a chunky linen. And then when you bring in detail to the bed is actually when you start having fun with like your bedside pedestals, or if you want to implement the mirror into the space. A big trend at the moment is we're doing away from the silver mirror and we're actually working with smoky mirror. It's a lot more warmer, creates a lot more depth. You can also go for a smoky mirror which has an antique finish to it, so it's not just a plain mirror on the wall. And here, if you're using wooden floors, again, this is where you can bring in the wood on the design element for the bedside pedestals. We can work with the stone or natural wood for a wall panel if you want. And this becomes like the main power piece in the room. So I think like in terms of working with the basis for any like space or a bedroom, it's nice to go with like your neutral colors, and then you can layer it with accents. So this could be in terms of your scatter cushions. This is where you can have fun with like lots of different types of textures, different patterns, different types of color. You can also have fun with your bed linen as well. Always go for high quality bed linen is my thing. And an added layer to your bed linen could be a beautiful throw. So overall, my idea of a beautiful elevated bedroom would be always to remember comfort, relaxation, definitely think about the type of textures you're going to use within the space, the fabrics that you're going to use on your headboard and your bed base, the type of bed linen you're going to use. It's very important because this is a space which you're going to retreat to and you need to love it. So it's got to be a beautiful, warm, inviting room.
That's it for this week. Do join us again next week as we bring you another finest home.